Hi, my name is Alicia Wilms.
And I'm Regina Lewis.
Today we will be baking a Hood River apple cake with a caramel sauce topping. The cake is named after Hood River because Hood River is known for its many apple orchards. And actually, the largest apple on record is from Hood River, and it was 3 pounds, 4 ounces.
To start off with, first of all, we've already preheated our oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to cream our sugar, egg, and shortening together. First, we're going to put in 2 cups of granulated sugar, and all of our ingredients are already pre-measured. Our recipe is a little time-consuming, so we thought this would kind of speed up our process. We have 1 cup of shortening. These little containers are so nice. They're already pre-measured. Let's start this, and I'll lock the back of the mixer, and then we'll just turn it on low to start it. Let me get rid of some of this. I'm going to wash my hands before I get started. Now we're going to add in 2 room temperature eggs. And why this is mixing together, Alicia is going to tell us a little bit about apples.
Okay, so I am peeling some apples. This recipe calls for 4 cups. So each medium to large apple provides about 1.5 cups of apples. So we're going to peel and chop up 2.5 apples. We have pre-washed these apples to get rid of the pesticides and any dirt or germs on the apple for extra added safety, and we have a special apple peeler to use, which is also safer than using a knife for peeling. There happens to be 7,500 varieties of apples around the world, and there's 2,500 grown in the United States. And 58% of the apple production is actually quite close to home, right here next door in the state of Washington.
Well, while Alicia is still peeling apples, I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of our dry ingredients. We have 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now we're going to combine these together, and a little bit of information is when you peel an apple, it starts a browning process. That's oxidation. That's when the enzymes in the apple, they react with the oxygen in the air. Now there's a couple useful tips to help stop the browning process until you're ready to use your apples. And one is you can submerge the meat of the apples into apple juice, or you can put 1/2 cup of lemon juice into a quart of water and then submerge the apples in those. Alicia is getting ready to chop some apples.
So we're just going to cut these into 4ths right around the core. Apples are good for a lot of variety of reasons. You can use them in desserts. You can eat them as a snack. You can chop them up for salads. You can use them in jams or like an apple butter, cider. There's so many different uses of apples. They are very versatile and great for baking. And the best varieties for baking happen to be the Granny Smith apple, Macintosh apple.
And slices here. Why don't I just go ahead? There's one. You want to put that in there for me?
Sure.
You can be my assistant.
And I've washed my hands thoroughly. It's always best to count the ABCs while you are washing your hands, just to make sure you wash them thoroughly.
There you go. Another one. Well, now that we're done cutting the apples, we're going to add the apples to our batter.
Here you are.
Thank you. And the measuring cup, please.
There's the measuring cup.
I'm just going to add 2 cups of apples at a time, and then we'll mix them up thoroughly. We'll mix these together. It's kind of a dry batter, so you don't want to mush your apples by overbeating. There, that looks pretty good. We'll add the other 2 cups now.
Already looking yummy.
Oh, this is delicious. This is great for holidays. It's good for any time. Just ask the cameraman. We'll lock the KitchenAid down, and now we'll mix it up. We're just about ready to bake. And let's scrape all the edges down one more time.
Would you like me to grab the pan?
Please. I'm gonna mix it just a little bit more. Oh, and I got batter on my knuckle.
So what have we preheated the oven to?
350.
350.
And we've greased the bottom of the pan already. Doesn't need to be floured, only grease. And it looks like it's mixed thoroughly.
Did you just use a spray or?
Yes. Oops. There, it's kind of a dry batter, but when the apples start to cook, the moisture from the apples go into the cake, and it is very moist.
Apples happen to be fat-free, sodium-free, and cholesterol-free, and one apple contains about 80 calories. They're very healthy, full of fiber. So a whole apple has the most fiber in it. So.
And Alicia, if you'll put the batter in the pan, okay, and I'll get rid of the...
Put my oven mitts on since it has been heated up in there, just for safety. Oh, I guess I should have put the oven first. So we'll place it in the middle of the rack. It's cooked. So let's see what our little creation turned out to look like.
Ooh!
And that is the Hood River apple cake finished. So we'll place it on here on a little stand so as to not burn the countertop. And then we will be making a caramel sauce to drizzle over top. I'm going to add half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of granulated sugar, a half a cup of butter, which is in the fridge, and we've used a pre-measured stick here, which is exactly half a cup. And then we're we're going to bring it to a boil before we add the half a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to add our half a teaspoon of vanilla. And we'll pour it directly over. There you are. And then we'll stir that in.
Well, let's bring it to the counter.
And then we'll get a tablespoon of the caramel sauce. And we'll drizzle it back and forth. And there we are.
Well, we want to thank you for watching our video. This is Regina Lewis.
And I'm Alicia Wilms.
And this is our Hood River apple cake with a caramel frosting.